it tonight, get you some sultrylim.com. If you wanna get it tonight, get you some sultrylim.com. Make your body feel right, get you some sultrylim.com.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue and I am back for another episode of Power, all right? Let's just get right into it, all right? So look, Detective Leary, who is in charge of Raina's murder investigation, comes over to the house early one morning, okay? Tyree getting ready for school. Tasha making breakfast. Ghost is in the shower crying and having moments of insecurities and shit that he can't express in front of his family. Detective Leary wants to know why Tyreek lied about being outside of the school when Raina got shot. Because Tyreek said that he wasn't outside, that he wasn't around, but we all know that's a lie. We all know that he ran outside. His sister ran after him. He was hiding. His sister confronted Ray Ray. Ray Ray shot his sister square in the heart like a fuckboy and ran off into the night. And Tyreek was left there with his sister's body and then ran off when the authorities were called. He lied and said he wasn't there because he didn't want anybody to know that he had any dealings with Ray Ray. But now the chickens are coming home to roost. And Detective Leary wants to know why somebody said they saw him outside the school. Well, Tyreek, like a stupid fucking teenager, says that he went outside, but he went back inside. And whoever saw him must not have seen him go back inside. I don't know. I don't know what Detective Leary is thinking, but this smells fucking fishy. Somebody might be going to jail at the end of season 5. I don't know the IA detective lady's name yet. I'm going to get it by next episode, now that I see she's a recurrent character. Okay? I don't try to waste my time learning people's names when they don't be on all of the episodes. It's too much shit to remember on Power for all of that. But the IA detective lady from the NYPD is investigating Raymond's murder. She wants to know what happened. So she rolls up on Detective Leary because she heard that his investigation about Raina is overlapping with her investigation about Raymond. Because it come to find out that Raymond was looking into Tyreek and didn't see Tyreek but talked to Raina. So she wants to know, what the hell does Raymond and Raina St. Patrick have to do with one another? Detective Leary can offer no real help, but lets her know that ADA Angela Valdez, ADA, what is it? ADA USA, whatever. Y'all know what I'm saying. Angela's ass was asking questions about Detective Raymond. So she was asking about Detective Raymond, and then we know she knows Raina. It's just so much shit coinciding, but something's not adding up, and the detectives are smelling blood. Okay? They are on the prowl. They are putting the dots together that Angela is to be suspected, okay? Because she's popping up in places where she shouldn't. All right? She should have been way more careful about the way she was going around investigating shit with Raymond. Just leaving cards every fucking where people pick up, find out about. Not Detective Leary and Detective IA bitch go put the shit together and connect the dots. And somebody's going to jail. And I'm so stressed out and on the edge of my seat. This fucking show gives me stress. Angela presents all of this new investigative information that she's gotten about the Jimenez to Tamika. And Tamika says that, whoa, you're moving too fast, honey. I know you got something to prove, but you don't want to foil the first investigation that you get into, honey. All right? Take your time. Take it slow. Don't fuck it up. That's what Tamika says. Angela's like, bitch, you need more? You want more from me? What more can I give you? So she gets in contact with that undercover cop who was on this show last season. I forgot his name and forgot what he was doing that quick. But I know he was an undercover cop. Y'all explain his role down below and his name and all of that, because y'all be knowing and I be forgetting. So she talks to him and he offers the AUSA for Mexico to her. Like, you could talk to her, maybe y'all could piece some things together and y'all could put some information together and we could take the Jimenez down, because all he wants to do is take down the bad guy. So she's further putting information together so that she can build a better case against the Jimenez, so that she can finally get her reputation back. So Kane and Ghost and Tommy are hanging out again, just like old times, except for with ulterior motives like a motherfucker. And Kanan tells them that they should look at Dre's partner 2-Bit. He saw them get into a fight. They like how you saw them get into a fight. He was like, cause I'm following a nigga. They like, I thought we were doing this together. He was like, well, I'm sharing with the class, nigga, damn. Like, what more you want from me? All right? So they decide they're gonna set their sights on 2-Bit because obviously he can be flipped. And if anybody can flip a nigga, it's Kanan. Tommy asks Ghost if he can clean his drug money at Truth again. And Ghost is like, nah, man, you know I gotta keep my nose clean. The feds is watching, all right? I'm on television and shit. I need to make sure I'm not out here doing nothing dirty with the club. And Tommy's like, fuck. So Tommy's now trying to find any way he can to clean his drug money because he has to give this money back to Jason. And Jason is on that ass. After Ghost leaves, Kanan asks Tommy if he would let him in on selling some of his drugs so he can pay back Jason faster. Tommy says, look, bro, I'll let you in, but only if you got the money up front. I can't be giving you no favors and all of this type of shit. And Kanan's like, okay, you can see shit putting together in his mind. You can see his little motors start to running and shit. He's coming up with an idea about how to get this money so he can sell these drugs. So Dre has a meeting with his crew and Diego so that he could prove to Diego that Arturo killed Lorenzo. In the process, Diego's crazy ass decides that Arturo needs to further prove himself as somebody who can handle his crew, so he needs to go and kill the rest of Lorenzo's gang. Dre was like, this nigga is crazy and I do not have time for these theatrics, but he knows he has to go along with it because he needs Jimenez on his side, which means he needs Diego's crazy ass on his side. And we all know that the sister is the calmer one, but for some reason we got to keep talking to old crazy ass Diego, right? So Diego says, I want to watch you kill them. You know, he wants to watch Arturo kill the rest of Lorenzo's crew. And this is just going to be a whole bunch of bullshit, right? Especially since 2-Bit and his little partner with the glasses who drove him to kill Lorenzo are starting to feel some type of way that Dre let Arturo take all of the credit for killing Lorenzo. What they don't understand is this is not a good thing. This is not a good thing with your dumb ass. Oh my God. Ghost and Councilman Tate go to dinner with a possible investor for the building they're trying to build, the community center, whatever the fuck they're trying to build in Raina's name. It's a building. It's supposed to help the community. It's supposed to have apartments, and it's supposed to be, I guess, some type of center of the community to try to change how the neighborhood is. You know, if they put a little money into the neighborhood, help the kids have somewhere to go, help people with jobs, give them somewhere nice to live. You know, it has a perfect view of the water and all of that shit. But it seems like they have two conflicting ideals for it, okay? Tate seems to want it to be more geared towards business class people. And I mean, that's the way it felt, okay? The way he was describing it to Linda versus the way Ghost started to describe it to Linda. And Linda felt that there was definitely some disconnect, especially when Ghost decides to mention that they are looking into the property being considered commercial, meaning that they would be able to sell things on the property that's supposed to be for like a nonprofit. So she's looking at Ghost and looking at Tate like, what the fuck? And now she doesn't want to hear anything else. And Tate is like, look, bro, you fucking shit up. Maybe you need to take some time off. And Ghost is like, look, bro, you've been fucking with me this whole time. The way you set me and my wife up, the way you made us do that press conference, you sold my daughter out during her funeral. Like, get the fuck out of here. This is my building. It's my daughter's legacy. And it's what the fuck I want to do. So maybe you need to go sit down. I'll handle it. So he decides that he's going to give Linda some dick. That's the way he's going to handle it. But she took the dick and ran because she told Tate that she wasn't doing business with him, and he just further proved how unprofessional he was by having sex with her. So she took the dick and gave no money. I'd have been like, nah, bitch, I'm gonna need for you to sign on the bottom line. I'm gonna need for you to sign something before I take you up to this hotel room and wear that new nana out, which is what he did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he wore that ass out. She looked like she was in need of that prayer. All right, but he still got nothing in return, and Tate had this slick ass smile on his face like, look, nigga, you thought you could do it without me, but you can't. You think you know what you're doing, but you don't. You know, you may know how to run run a club, but that doesn't mean you know how to deal with all of these business people and movers and shakers and all of that type of shit. And Ghost is feeling some type of way about that depiction of him because he's always been the smartest and the businessman when it comes to all of this shit. And now he's finding himself at a disadvantage, but he's also dealing with the grief of losing his daughter. It's a lot of shit going on with Ghost right now, and he's spinning out of control, all right? He's really not on his game. He's not on his best game at all to let Linda fuck over him, but she's like, must be like some type of ultra millionaire. And apparently they were gonna try to use Linda as their only investor. And so this ended up not looking good, and it was a tense moment, but it seems like Tate and Ghost still for some reason want to work together, and they're going to continue to do things to try to make this building happen. And I just don't know why at this point. I feel like Ghost needs something to hold on to, and I don't get why he can't just go on and try to do something else or sit his fucking ass down somewhere. I don't know. But all I know is this is all a distraction that could end up fucking him in the end. Mock and Sax go to see Teresi, okay? Apparently, they want to use Teresi to try to get to Tommy, to try to get to Ghost, all right? And it's so funny, Teresi starts to bust out laughing, and we're like, what the fuck is he laughing about? We're thinking he's about to say some shit like, what you think, I'm gonna turn on my son? I wouldn't turn on a crime boss who I wasn't even that cool with. You think I'd turn on my son? You know, I'm thinking he about to say some shit like that. But oh no, he says he has been laying his track this whole time, and he knew eventually by him making a relationship with Tommy that the cops will come back trying to get him to do whatever they wanted to do, and they would be willing to give him his freedom for that so that he can get out and see his wife before she dies. Okay, so he can go and see his precious Connie. So he's been playing Tommy the whole time, acting like he's his dad and he really wants to have a relationship with him, when really he's been using him so that he could try to get some plea deal so he can get his ass out of jail. It's genius, it's smart, and it's a chess move like a motherfucker. So Mock and Sax get exactly what they want to. So Teresi calls Tommy and it's like, I'm about to get out of jail, son, and I really want us to spend some time together, which starts Tommy's wheels to turning about why. Why now? You've known you and my dad this whole time, and now you want to come and try to be in my life? So he's really insecure and paranoid. I mean, thankfully so. We're so glad you're paranoid, because you should be, because you cannot trust this fuck boy, all right? Your mama tried to tell you, boy. Your mama tried to tell you. So the IA detective goes to see Angela again, all right? And she asks her about the connection between Raina and Raymond. And in so many words, Angela says it's a part of an investigation that you don't have clearance to, so I can't tell you about it. And the IA detective is looking at her like, bitch, I see you. You are definitely hiding something. All right, and she knows she has to shut this shit down. She goes in and talks to Tasha, and Tasha was at her grief group counseling meeting, and she was listening to the parents of the son who died by that drunk driver that Ghost murdered at the end of last episode. So she put two and two together and realized that Ghost probably went and murdered the murderer of those parents' son, all because he was sitting there and felt like he could be some type of vigilante and get some type of justice for what happened to their children. And I'm just like, bro, what the fuck ever? You just trying to find somebody to kill to let your frustrations out on. It's not about them, because that is not gonna make them feel any better. And that's what the family said in grief counseling. So after that, Tasha goes to talk to Angela, and Angela tells her about the IA investigator and how she's looking into all of this, and it could eventually go back to her. And she tells her, you need to shut down that bitch's investigation. And Angela knows that she has to, so she goes to Donovan, Black Cop, and gets him to get all of the information he could so that he can put a stop to the IA investigator's case. So that's what he does. He goes to her with a search warrant or some type of warrant, not a search warrant, but a warrant to take over her investigation and seize all of the evidence. So he takes his people in there and gets all of the evidence, and she's like, you know, your girl, you know, your boss, Angela, you know, she's trying to cover her ass. And he's like, do you have any proof of that? And she's like, no. He's like, well, stay the fuck out of our way. But the way he asked if she had proof makes me think that he thinks that Angela's dirty in some type of way too. And why wouldn't he, after everything they've been through with her and the case before with Ghost and everything? She's definitely not to be trusted. And I think he picked up on that too. And if she just doesn't need another cop looking into her like she's doing something dirty. All right, she really doesn't, but she's about to get it because homegirl ain't about to give up that case. And now that you done took her whole investigation away from her, she's gonna be looking to get back at that ass and find out what Angela is really trying to hide. I don't think this was the best move.
If you want to make your bad time sweet, go ahead and head over to the Sugar Shack collection. Link down below in the description box where you can get a discount on your purchase.
So Kanan rolls up on 2-Bit and does exactly what he knows how to do and turns him. He basically says that Dre killed Brock even though he was the one that killed Brock. Well, he like tied Brock up and kind of he beat his ass. He done something to him, but he was in the trunk of the car all fucked up, and he made Dre shoot Brock. But then he tells it to 2-Bit like it was all Dre's idea, and you know how fucked up Dre can be, and kind of just gets his confidence going. So he starts to tell him his beef with Dre. So now Kanan knows how to infiltrate. I'm like, 2-Bit, you're a fucking idiot. That's why they call you that, because you're a 2-Bit gangster, and you think you know some shit, but you really don't. You just got played like a fucking fiddle, brother. You just got played, brother. Ugh. So Tasha confronts Ghost about the couple's dead son's murderer, and he just admits it and says that he needed that. He needed to do something to get justice. And Tasha is like, the next time you feel like killing somebody, why don't you kill Kanan? Please, all right? Because he's the one that is the cause of all of this. All of this. Tommy goes to see Keisha because he needs somebody to talk to. He needs somebody to talk to about Teresi, and right now, Ghost is not in a headspace to be a soundboard right now. So he goes to Keisha and tells her about Teresi and how he wants to be in his life, but how he doesn't trust him. And Keisha says, you know, maybe he's just an old man who's trying to resolve some issues or right some wrongs. But I can't say that because I know the type of people y'all hang around. So I'm going to say, why don't you find somebody who can find out about his case? And he goes to Joey and asks Joey to find out about his case. Joey looks into it and doesn't see that he's actually done anything. Teresi is getting out so that he can help the cops build the case on Tommy, not so that he can already give off information, because that's how it normally goes. Normally, Teresi would have said something that would have been in his file, and then it would have said why he was getting out of jail, but that's not what it says. And I'm like, ugh, do not trust this. Do not trust this, Tommy, please. Like, just use your spidey senses. They should be tingling. They should be tingling, all right? But Joey just wants Tommy to stay the fuck away from him because he's still trying to be a lawyer. So he wants his livelihood back, and being seen with Tommy or any of them is not good for that. So Tasha goes to talk to Tommy about Ghost and him killing that murderer and all of that. But Kanan is there instead. And she tells Kanan that all of this is his fault and she doesn't know why the fuck he's around. But guess what? If he comes for her, he better kill her because she is going to be coming for that ass. She don't trust him, and she doesn't like that Tommy and Ghost are allowing him to be around the way they are. But Kanan seems to be turned on by the feistiness that Tasha is serving. And something tells me, like we've all been speculating, that Tasha's kids might actually be Kanan's. They were fucking around at some point from what I recall. So I'm wondering if she wants him dead, not only because of his involvement with Tyreek and how it, subsequently ended in Raina's death, but also because maybe Ghost ain't the pappy. It ain't been the pappy this whole time. But I do like the fact that Kanan checked her and told her that when you decided to have a baby with a drug dealer, your son was born into this shit. I ain't bring him into nothing he wasn't already gonna get into, bitch. Tommy comes in and she's like, fuck you, Tommy, for having his fuck ass around. And she goes downstairs and Tommy runs after her. And she basically tells him what's going on with Ghost. And he says he'll, look after him and make sure that he doesn't kill anybody else so that, he don't fuck up their whole shit. All right. The block is hot. He out here killing people. So Diego has the whole dramatics of having Arturo kill all of Lorenzo's remaining crew members and tells Dre that Cristobal is going to be his number 2 from now on. And everybody already noticed how Diego took a liking to Cristobal over Dre. So Dre is definitely feeling the stress from everybody. He don't know. He about to have it coming from 2-Bit. He about to have it coming from Diego, and probably going to have it coming from Cristobal at some point and the rest of his crew, especially because they wasn't really cool with him making making Cristobal his number 2, but he didn't really have a choice. And when he announced it to everybody, that's when 2-Bit got pissed off even more. So now you know he gonna run back to Kanan. And Dre just don't know that he got it coming from every angle. I don't think he gonna live to see the rest of the season too long, too much longer. He probably gonna be gone by episode, what? We'll be on episode 3. He gonna be gone by episode 5. So Angela runs into a DEA agent in the hallways of the FBI building. Okay, I guess, he was sexy to her, and he asked her out on a date. And they went on a date. They went to dinner. And I guess this was them showing us that she's trying to get over Ghost. But in all honesty, all I kept wondering is, who is this DA agent? And why are they presenting him in such a way that we think he might be a mole? You a DEA mole, ain't you? Ain't you, Steve? All right, she out here always giving a pussy to suspect people. Giving that pussy to every suspect DEA agent that comes out the box. So Angela is having like a sit-down meeting with all of the rest of the FBI agents and the undercover detective who she got to come on and be a part of their team because she needed his help, right? So she has him to come in and look at all of the pictures of the people they've been surveilling, including Alicia, who they still don't know is Diego's sister. But when she's thinking about it, she's like, Hermanos, that's where you say sibling, brother, and sister, and they're always together, and she's covered just like he is. I think she has power, and they put 2 and 2 together, and Angela figures out that Alicia is Diego's sister, and now they have 2 of the most powerful people in the Jimenez in New York right now, and they can arrest them without any of the jurisdiction issues. So they say, go get our arrest warrants. We go and get their ass. And I'm like, Angela, girl, Tamika told you to wait. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but they really going full speed ahead after Jimenez, and I'm wondering how Sachs feel about this. So because Ghost was pushed into a corner when he found out that his arrangement with Linda was not an arrangement at all, and he won't be getting any money from fucking her, you hoe, all right? He gives Tommy a call and tells him that they can go back to funneling the money through Truth. So Keisha and Tasha have a moment and they're talking, and she's saying how she doesn't understand where Tariq got all this lying from, because she knows that he's keeping something from her and how different everybody is since Raina died. And Keisha keeps it 100 with Tasha and says, girl, you've been lying to them kids their whole damn life. And this is when Tasha has an aha moment and realizes that you've raised them to lie. You've taught them to lie, and now you're mad that they're liars? Keisha tells Tasha, if you want to be different, you have to be different. Tommy's mama comes over to his apartment acting like she cared about Raina's death when really she was only there because her stash was low. And she asked Tommy if he's still talking to Teresi, and he's like, yeah, he's about to get out of jail. And she's like, all right, wait till he come asking for something. He is the devil. He is not to be trusted, Tommy, okay? I'm warning you. He ain't right. He gonna want something. So Kanan needs money to buy drugs from Tommy. So he rolls up on Cristobal and takes $300K of his money and brings it to Tommy so that he can buy drugs off of him. I don't think Kanan was really making money any other way, and I think he's trying to build his own business on the low with help from them without them even knowing it. So Tasha brings Tariq out to Chokes. I think that's the name of the school, the boarding school that she wants to send him to. And she says, son, I'm sorry, okay? I want to apologize to you for not being honest with you. But I want to explain to you how hard it was for us and how hard our lives were and how we never wanted you to struggle the way we struggled. We never wanted you to feel the hunger in your belly the way we did. We didn't want you to know how cold the streets were. We didn't want you to know that life. And we didn't tell you about what we were doing because we were hoping we wouldn't have to. We were hoping we would be able to protect you from that and that you would not know how grimy the streets are. And he starts to understand why it was being kept from them. It wasn't lying just to lie. It was lying to protect you. And that's when Tariq breaks down and tells Tasha that he was there and he watched Raina die and how much he misses her, and he breaks down crying. And y'all, for a moment, I was really feeling like whenever Tasha gets into her feelings, I don't know why, but Natari is acting her ass off, and I'm immediately affected whenever she gets emotional this season. It's crazy. But I often wonder sometimes if Tyreek is a fucking, sociopath. Like, I wonder if he's deep down crazy or some shit like that. And in this moment when he broke down crying about Raina, I wasn't sure if he was being genuine. I hope he was, but I'm not sure if he actually was. So then we go to Teresi and they show us Teresi getting out of jail. And guess who stops to pick him up? Not Sammy. Tommy picks him up from jail. And they're going to get into some trouble after they go and see Connie. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know what's wrong with Tommy. I don't know if he is thinking a few steps ahead. I don't know. But all I know is I hope that he eventually figures out what's going on before Mock and Sachs, get enough information to charge him with something. And I think he should probably kill Teresi. Anyway, you guys, that was everything that happened on this week's episode of Power. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Check down below in the description box for the hair care products that I use. Okay, yes, on Beyonce. And don't forget about Scentbird. I smell good, bitch. Get down below in the description box. Get your discount codes to all of that plus more. Hit me up in my email, BONDY.BRITTANY@gmail.com. I will be doing the MFN Advice live this Thursday, 5 p.m. Central Time. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know on YouTube, Instagram, and on Twitter. So follow me on those if you don't. Love you. See you in the next one. Ciao, Bella.